Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Serene and I'm back with another video. So because of the length of the first video, I decided to split that in two. So now it's gonna be a 3-part series just so that the videos aren't too long, because the first video was like over an hour long of me explaining what had happened. So this is gonna be part 2. So I just had to go and collect the little thing that I want to show you guys. So now I see what they meant, and he was just like, what does it mean? No, I'm gonna show you what it is just because I think it would bring understanding to this video. He saw this in my room, right? So I dated a guy from Tanzania, and he brought me back this along with other gifts. And I look at it as just African wooden sculpture. I just look at it as a piece of wood. I don't look at it as anything but a piece of wood. It looks like my uncle's pastor thought that it was symbolic of something. So my uncle was just like, he feel like he's under spiritual attack.
Jesus is Lord!
What does it mean? I was just like, well, it's a piece of wood. My ex gave it to me, like, and that's all I saw it as. I just saw it as like African art. I didn't see it as anything but a piece of wood.
We know!
So he's just like, but what does it mean? I was like, I don't know what you think it means. And obviously, I think like in hindsight, I could say I probably was a bit snappy at him. But in all fairness, it was like probably 1:30 in the morning. I was tired, and he's here asking me about a piece of wood. And if this is what a conversation is about at 1:30 in the morning, I kind of don't want to have it. But anyways, I'm telling him it's a piece of wood. But behind him, on the left side of him, there was a blue scaled like painting that looked like it was African type painting. So I said, so what's the meaning of that? Because right now you annoy me. So I pointed and I was just like, what's the meaning of that? And oh god, he flipped. So he was just like, what do you mean, what's the meaning of that? In my house, you don't question what's in my house. Whatever I put in my house is my house. And he's like, what do you mean I can't come into your room? If something was wrong with the room, wouldn't I have to come into the room? So I said to him, well, if something was wrong with the room, I would know something's wrong with the room. I ain't saying that you can't bring people to the room if something is wrong, but you tell me, because I saw you today and you should have told me that you're bringing someone to the room. I'm a woman, like anything in that room could have been lying about and somebody would have just walked in. And furthermore, I know the room is messy, so obviously if I knew you were bringing somebody here, I would have tried and tidy it up a bit. They wouldn't have been able to come into the room and see the room like that. Anyways, he was just like, well, and he's angry. So he's like, well, I just need you to get out of the house now. So I was like, sir, it's like 1:30, like where you gonna go? And I said, well, could you allow me just some time so I could take it to my sister, because I'm not throwing it away. It's just a piece of wood. Whether you want to attribute meaning to it or not, it is a piece of wood. So he said, no, because I don't want it in my house. Put it outside in a plastic bag. I said, I'm not putting it outside in a plastic bag because you're not gonna pretend like you forgot that I put it in a plastic bag and it ended up in the bin. So he was just like, well, I don't care what you do, but I want it out of my house now. So now I am frustrated. One, because I'm tired. I'm stressed out. The tension in the house was thick. And it has been thick. And it was just like it was waiting for it to just blow up. I was sleepy. The clothes wasn't finished. And then here he come talking to me about a piece of wood. And what it mean. The wood don't mean nothing. So I started to cry. And I cried out of frustration. Now here comes his wonderful, at the time, fiance to talk to me about what's wrong. And I was like, nothing. Because in the back of my head, I was just like, I don't see what we will be talking about, because at the end of the day, you have no loyalty to me. Your loyalty is to him. And whatever I tell him, you're probably going to spin it anyways and carry it back. But anyways, I was like, nothing is wrong. And she was like, no, obviously something is wrong because you're crying. I was like, well, I think that I cannot have a conversation with him because he did just talk at people. He doesn't listen. He feels he knows and understands what is going on all the time, and he's not listening to me. So having a conversation is relevant. And then she started explaining to me, so don't you think that, you know, you're being a bit unreasonable, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, listen, I'm just stressed out. my emotions are up and down, and I just didn't want to explain to her why I was stressed out or why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But obviously she brought it down to, oh, maybe I'm depressed or whatever. And in the back of my head I was like, I don't even want to tell you that I'm not depressed. It's just I can't tell you why I'm feeling the way I am. Because what I really wanted to say was, I don't feel he wants me here, and he acts like it every day. He's been acting like that since I moved here in August, and I didn't invite myself to his house. He invited me, but I couldn't tell that to her, so I just let her run with the depression thing. And then she was like, oh, well, you could go to the doctor, and you know, there are safe medications that they could prescribe to you.
Thank you for the word so sweet.
So I was like, okay. She went upstairs. Like, I don't know what she translated and tell he, but she tells him. Okay, so that happened in January. February happened, nothing, you know, nothing major. Obviously, it was still a bit turbulent. Nobody wanted to say nothing. March came. Now on March, he knocked on my door, so I answered, and he was just like, oh, what are you doing in December? So I was like, I don't know. So he was just like, oh, well, he's going to his home island in December, and he was leaving me in the house, and he said you could invite Stacy if you want to for Christmas, whatever. But he was like, no parties. And I'm looking at him like, first of all, I ain't 15, I ain't 16. I ain't never bring nobody to that man's house. They might come to the house as in to pick me up, but nobody never been inside. So why would I bring them now? No, I would never do that. I'm not doing that. So I was just like, yeah, no parties. So April happened. May I had exams again. Bear in mind that I had other things going on as well. So I had exams, I went to Parliament and stuff like that. So like I was definitely busy. I had my exam, everything kind of went good or what's not. In June, he asked me, when am I leaving? So in the back of my head, I was like, I don't know, because I just know that I needed to be finished with school first. So he was just like, oh, well, you know, you finished with school. I was like, I'm not finished with school. I finished with my exams. School doesn't close for me until September because we didn't have a summer break, because in a master's degree, you write your dissertation and meet with your supervisor and stuff like that. During the summer, there's no actual break. You might not have actual classes, but there's no real break. You're writing a paper. And this paper is important because if you fail this paper, you kind of fail your degree. There's no, you know, compensation for it. You know, like it's either fail or pass. So I was like, no, I'm not finished till September. He's like, well, you need to leave. At the end of July, you need to leave. So I was like, well, I would like to stay until September. And I guess this was my fault. I knew that that's how he felt. So I should have started to make preparations to go. But I thought when I explained to him that I'm not finishing university until September, so technically still in school, because he was like, oh, we agreed until you will finish with your master's. Well, I'm finished with my master's in September. So I thought when I explained that to him that he would have understood, coupled with the fact that in March, which was only two months ago, or even a month and a half ago, he came and asked me what I was doing in December, and he expected me to still be in the house. So in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he'll understand. Anyways, July came, and he got married the middle of July. He went on his honeymoon, probably maybe for 8, 9, 10 days. While on his honeymoon, he texted me and told me that I hadn't paid July's rent. So it was a Tuesday, and I remember it was a Tuesday because I was waiting on some money so I could go and pay him the following day. And I'm looking at my phone like, there is no way you on your honeymoon and all you and your wife would think about is me. Because literally, that's the only explanation I would have. Like, you're not at your honeymoon just sat thinking about the money that you're supposed to be getting for rent from your niece. No. Coupled with the fact that I wasn't invited to the wedding. I wasn't invited to the family dinner. I was invited to the after party. So when I pull up on the after party, all kind of people coming up to me asking me about, oh, why wasn't I at the wedding? Why am I only now coming? So which means that if I had followed my first intention, which was to not go to the after party because you give me a a invitation that says 6 p.m. and I'm just like, what wedding happens at 6 p.m. and you just tell me, oh, it's after party because the church is full. Anyways, I just read the message. I said, okay. So if I had followed my mind of not going, or everybody that knew that I lived at his house would have sat there and think that I am living in his house and I didn't come to support their wedding, because no one knew that I was only invited to the 6 p.m. after party. So they've been trying all this time to make me seem like I'm this bad person. But anyways, I sent him his money the Wednesday. He was not home for he was not in the house because he was on his honeymoon. But I spent most of the time by my friend, just because I don't even know why. Somebody just told me not to stay in the house, so I didn't. Anyways, I come back, I meet him, and he was just like, you have to go. And I was just like, but I thought that when I told you that I am not finished with school until September, you would understand. And he was just like, well, but you have to go. And I said, but I can't write my papers moving around and stuff like that. Okay, that's not what I mean to say. This man shrugged his shoulders and said, well, that's not my problem. And I was just like, okay, this is real. I need to pack my stuff. I felt so bad. I don't even know where I was going. All I know, I was going somewhere. I probably was headed to campus to meet my supervisor. I don't even know, but all I know, I was just like, okay, I need to leave. Now, bear in mind that I have 2 siblings in the UK, one in London, one in Stoke-on-Trent, nobody in Birmingham. So I didn't have anywhere to go. Luckily, I'm not a mean person, I'm not an evil person. So the people I had met while doing my master's degree, and bear in mind a master's degree is 12 months long, and we finished exams in May. May to September is 4 months. Am I right? Yes, 4 months. Which means these were people I had only known for 8 months long. And these people took me in. And didn't request anything. They just took me in because they were like, this is a bad situation. And one of the first person to take me in was my friend's friend. Like, I knew her brother before I knew her. And we literally, her dad came to the UK, and her brother invited me out. You know, like, we all went to have dinner or lunch or what's not. And that day we became close, and she was literally like, you know, it's fine, you can stay with me for the month. And I stayed with her for the month of August. So yeah, I became homeless. And you know, I think what rubbed me the wrong way is just like, when I started to deep what had happened to me was, I am not from this country. I'm not rich. I'm not from this country. There's no way for me to call and ask anyone to aid me financially so that I could have some place to live, or I could pay up 3 months in advance for my rent. And I was here staying with somebody that I considered family, and they put me out. No, I don't think a lot of people understand how left this could have gone. I'm a woman. If I didn't have any friends, or I didn't have anyone that was willing to have me stay with them, I could have ended up in a homeless house. I could have ended up in a homeless house that I would have to pay per night to stay in, walking around with a suitcase, trying to ensure that I stay safe, because I don't know who would be in these shelters. There's so many homeless people in Birmingham that, you know, it's just per night. So who knows, I might have to fight to keep my stuff. People steal your things there. Who knows, I could have been fighting for my life. And the fact that they could kick me out and literally just turn their back with no concern. It wasn't like, I feel like if it was a matter of his wife asked him or told him that I needed to go, and he, just to keep peace in his family, he did it, I would understand if that's how it had went, and while I was gone, it would be a periodic, like, are you okay? Are you safe? Do you need anything? It was nothing like that. The girls that he called his sisters, I think one girl asked me, if I was okay, and she messaged me early August. Since then, I haven't heard from anybody, and we are in May 2019. This happened August 2018. So when you think about how left this could have gone, like literally, I was writing my dissertation, which was my final thesis to be able to graduate with my degree. I was so friggin' depressed. I was staying with this girl for the month, and I would get up and I would write 100 words, and I would sleep, and I would wake up early and try to do this and try. Sometimes we would just go out to eat, and I would just start to cry because I would be like, what is my life? I don't know where it's going. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And I ended up, after the month, I went by another girl for 2 weeks, my friend, and she was just like, you need to tell your supervisor, because my supervisor, me and him had already decided what my dissertation was gonna be about in November 2017. So when I tell you I'm a prepared person, I don't play that shit. So tell me why in August 2018 he's asking me, oh, send me this, and I can't. I had already met him a few times, and I already had my shit planned out. I knew who I was going to. I know what interviews I wanted to conduct, if I wanted to conduct anything. I knew who I wanted to speak to. I knew where to find my information, but I couldn't write anything. I didn't have the willpower to push anything, to write anything. So my friend was like, you need to tell your supervisor what's happening. And she was just like, I know it's embarrassing, but this is right now, you need to accept the help, because you're gonna need to have an extension. And this is September. I have no dissertation. And I think my dissertation had maybe 7 chapters. I hadn't even had 1 chapter. I didn't even have 1 chapter. So I told him, and he was just like, you should have told me before, because I knew something was wrong. That's literally what he said. I knew something was wrong because I didn't understand why or how you were prepared all this time, and I wasn't getting any information from you. You were just telling me the right thing. So he said, go and apply for your extension and tell the head of or department that I said that it's okay to approve it. And that's how I got an extension, and I submitted my dissertation in October. But like I said, it could have gone so left, and he used to always be like, oh, I'm helping you, but no, while I could understand that he was helping me, in the grand scheme of things, there was no help from his end. None. And as for, because we would go to family functions and I would be a topic. Why am I a topic? I don't even, like, they're not related to me, and he was barely related to me. So why am I a topic? Do you have a car? No. I just need you to get one. Can you drive? Yes. I just need to get one. Oh, well, all that makeup that you're buying, you could save it to buy a car. I wearing the same set of foundations since I buy them same set of foundations. 1 and 2. How do you know I have a lot of makeup? For all you know, I got 1 brush, 1 foundation, 1 concealer, and 1 lipstick. You don't know that I have a lot of foundation and a lot of makeup if you ain't seen my room. Period. Which means they don't gone and see the room, or they've been told what's in the room. Either way, somebody went in there when they didn't belong in there. 1. 2, conversations will come up from him to talk about the fact that I always on the phone with my mother, or I always on the phone with my sister. I'm always on the phone. But it's my phone and I pay my bill. And ain't to say I'm on the phone with a man. Ain't to say I'm on the phone with somebody you think I shouldn't be on the phone. I'm on the phone with the woman that gave me life and my little sister. Why would I not be on the phone with them? And if I am on the phone with them, what's the issue? What is the actual issue? What's the issue? So stuff like that, conversations will come up with how I don't cook for him. But why am I cooking for him? Especially as a student, you think I had time to look back to be like, oh well, uncle didn't eat. No, hell, sometimes I didn't eat. Period. Like, that was it. So stuff like that used to happen. All kind of stuff used to be said about me and what they consider to not be good behavior or bad behavior or whatever. And I know my mom used to sometimes I used to sleep out, and sometimes I used to just stay out as late as possible so that I don't have to run into him. And sometimes I used to sleep out and I used to tell my mom, like, I'm not going home tonight. And she'd be like, have you told him? And I would tell her no, and she'd be like, you need to tell him. And really and truly, my justification was, when I did used to tell him, he used to act like the information was unnecessary to him. So after I realized that that's how he acted, I'm not gonna lie, when I stayed out, I kind of just stayed out and popped up in the next morning. Which in hindsight, I could see why that's bad, and I know I was wrong for doing that, but because of how he made, he didn't act. It didn't seem as if he wanted me in his house. So really and truly, if I wasn't there, just take a free time. That's how I looked at it. This was literally how this all transpired and how it happened. And I literally just moved from house to house. And then the 4th of February, I paid down first and my first month's my deposit and first month's rent. And then I completely moved in March, and I got my house on my own space. And I know a lot of people was just like, oh, you don't want to live with people and stuff. And I don't want to live with people, and I didn't want to live with people because I didn't want to be in a space where anyone could have the power to tell me I need to leave. Because I'm not gonna lie, it messed with me. Like, I was just like, I felt like the rug was pulled from under me. And I honestly think that it was an intentional thing done by them, because these people have children. I don't understand when adults do certain things, because every single person that I could say is involved in this or know about the situation, all of them have kids and all of them have grown children. And I don't know why they think that doing something like this to me because they feel like I didn't have any support, and they probably did want to see me fail, and would have felt really good if I failed. But I don't see why they think this would be something good to do to somebody, because I am somebody's child, I am somebody's sister, I'm somebody's niece, I'm somebody's cousin, I am somebody's child. And I heard the talk that, oh, if my mom was talking to my uncle about how the situation and everything was going, this wouldn't have happened. So I trying to understand if they thought that my mother, whether or not, my mom used to correct me, there are things that I do that she do not agree with. Like, she don't agree with this, she don't agree with this second person there, she don't agree with this, she don't agree with the tattoo. My mom don't agree with a lot of things that I do. But what she was not going to do is going to side with a big man against her first daughter. And I don't know why anyone thought that it would have played out differently. Like, she was not going to side, because everything that he did, I told her. And everything that I did, I told her. I didn't soften it. I didn't buff it out. I told her. When I was staying out in November, December, in the height of winter, and I was just like, no, I don't want to go home. Like, I'm gonna go home later tonight. And her only thing would be like, Sarine, you need to go home. You can't be outside catching cold over his stupidness. But it made me feel uncomfortable. And my mom knows me. Like, I'm not the type of person where I'm just gonna go and make trouble. And if you make trouble with me, if I feel like I have no other option, the only thing I can do is shut down. I'm gonna go silent. I'm gonna go quiet. I'm gonna revert back into myself. So it's like, why they thought it would have gone differently, I don't know. Nonetheless, I am living in my own place. It's not fully furnished yet, but I am getting there, and I'm beginning to become a bit more stable and happy. So this will conclude part 1. This is longer than I thought that it would be, but it is a lot of events, and I didn't want to break it up too much just so that it flows a bit better. But this is part 1. This is what happened, how it happened, where I went, and how I survived. And my friends, God bless them, because I dedicated my dissertation to them. But God bless them forever and ever, amen. Like, God bless them, because my friends never once made me feel like I was less than. They never once made me feel like I was undeserving. They never once made me feel like this was their home and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And I thank God for them all the time, because if not for them, I don't know where I would have been. And this is why, while I could forgive all of them that had a hand in me being in the situation I was in. I could forgive them, but I would never forget, and I don't want to have conversations with them because I don't see the point, because all of them knew exactly what they were doing. And I hate to say it like that, but you don't just do people evil because you have the power to do it. That is the worst thing to do. You don't just intentionally do something to people because you have the power to do it. God don't like ugly, and he doesn't like to see his people suffer. And I cried about this, and while I know I'm not like the strongest quote-unquote Christian, I do have my downfalls. I love the Lord and I have faith in him, and I know that whenever I cry, he protects me and he fights battles for me. When I cry, I always tell God, like, please don't let these tears fall to the ground. Like, you know how I feel and you know how it's affected me, so I need you to fix it. And you know, sometimes karma happens, so God bless them. But me, as for me, I've washed my hands of that entire side of the family. And honestly, when it comes to this one particular person that is in my family, one of these days me and him are gonna have a conversation about it, but I'm not ready. So this ends part 1, and luckily I didn't shed too much tears, but this ends part 1 of my homelessness video, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will explain how I dealt with it mentally and how I overcame and the things that brought me through. So I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that whoever watches this, if they're experiencing anything like this, that they find or surround themselves with people that care. They surround themselves with people that will be able to provide them with information on how to overcome such a situation, and they hang tight and hold strong, because it's not gonna last forever. It's hard. You just have to have the faith and trust that, you know, if you keep pushing, that it's going to be okay, because it will be okay. Because honestly, when that happened to me in August, like, I did not see the end. I didn't know what was gonna happen, how was it gonna happen, but here I am in my own place, and you know, it's a nice place. It's not huge, but it's comfortable, and I have my own space, my own kitchen. I could do whatever the hell I want in my house. Turn off the lights, turn on the lights, leave, come back, and nobody has anything to say. And you know, I am so happy and so thankful to God that I've got this, and you know, it's all gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. Everything works itself out. All things work together for good for those who love the Lord, and it's going to be okay. So I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in video number 3. Bye.